Hello, Mr. Alan.
Hello.
How are you?
Beautiful. Cold tonight, huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do tonight's blot and tomorrow's blot. Because tonight is a very small blot, and that way tomorrow.
Your internet is not so good.
Why not? Hello?
Ernie?
Yes. Yes. Mario?
Ernie,
Yes.
your internet is bad.
I can hear him though. I can hear him clear. I can hear him clear. I can see him clear.
And yours also, Alan.
I can hear you clear.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you.
Hold on a second. I'm going to see something.
Let me try again. How about now? Is it better, Mario?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, good. So, Lamed Aleph, Taanis.
Lamed Beis. No. Are you Megillah? I mean, Taanis. Yeah, right. Okay.
We have to do the last.
Yeah. Okay.
Walter, we're on Lamed Aleph, Ahmed Aleph, Taanis. We're going to also do the first blot of Megillah tonight. Rav Masna Amar Yom Shenidnu Aruge Beisar Lekvura. V'Amar Rav Masna Oisu Yom Shenidnu Aruge Beisar Lekvura Tiknu Biyavna Atoiva Meiti. the day that the people who were killed in Beitar were allowed to be buried, in Yavna, they made the bracha of Hatov HaMeitiv. Hatov Shlo Yisrichu, that they didn't rot. VaMeitiv Shenitnu L'Kvura. Rabbi Rav Yosef Damar Tavar Yom Sheposku Melichos Seitzim L'Marocha. That on the Tu B'Av, they would stop cutting wood for the Mizbeach, because after that, it's not as the wood is not as dry, it doesn't burn as well. Tanya Rabbi Eliezer go to Loimer Mechamisha Ba'av Eilech Toshash Koicha Shel Chama, because after Tu B'Av the sun gets weaker. V'lohai Korsa Meitzim L'Maroch. If you share any innovation, they're not dry enough. Av Rabbi Nashe V'Kar LeYom Tvar Magal. It's called the day that they broke the sides, because they don't cut anymore. Mikan ve'elech the moisif Yosef, u'deloy moisif Yosef. That means now the nights are long, so people should be moisif in their limud Torah, and whoever learns more will add life to them. Someone who does not learn more will be Yosef, will be gathered up. My Yosef, that means he will die before his time. And what else happened on Tu B'Av? Shebahen B'nos Yerushalayim, the B'nos Yerushalayim would go out in circles in the vineyards, and Shiduchim would happen. Torah Bas Melech, Shoelis mi Bas Kohen Gadol. The princess would borrow her clothing from the Kohen Gadol. Bas Kohen Gadol mi Bas Skan. The Bas Kohen Gadol would get it from the Skan Kohen Gadol. Bas Skan mi Beis Meshuch B'Chama. The Skan would get it from the Meshuch B'Chama. The Bas Meshuch B'Chama mi Bas Kohen Hedyot. Call Yisrael Shalom Zemi. The rest of Yisrael would borrow from each other. Kedei Shlo Yizbaisis Mishain Lo. Kenny, we're on Lamed Aleph, Ahmed Aleph, near the bottom, near the end of the Masechta of Taanis. Kol HaKelim Tunin Tvila. And the garments would require Tvila, so not to embarrass somebody, oh, you need Tvila, you don't. Even if nobody had worn it. If it was in a drawer, everything needed tefillah, not to embarrass anybody. Whoever didn't have a wife would go there and would get a wife. The ones who came from important families would say, look, choose me because I'm a meyuchas family. Don't look at beauty, look at the fact that I'm meyuchas. The pretty ones would say, look at Yoifi. The ones from Meyuchtika families, the ones that were not attractive, marry me l'shem shamayim. You can after a wedding, you can dress me up in jewelry. It's good for Walter. But each one will point with their finger. And this pasuk will say for the siyum, Harold is planning a siyum, I think, in the next week. And will be Messiah and Taanis and all the Masechtos that we started since the Daf Yomi. We'll find out.
They didn't get married for the money. That's one thing they did, right? Otherwise, it was said here.
Yeah, they didn't say money.
Only for the jewelry.
For the jewelry.
Only for the jewelry. What do you know? What date they're gonna do the?
No, we'll have to ask. Harold is planning it. We'll have to find out. Okay, let's start Masechta Megillah. There's no shiur tomorrow. No shiur. There's probably not going to be a shiur Wednesday because I have a procedure Wednesday. So I don't know. We'll have to keep that in flux right now. Beis. Megillah Beis. Megillah Nikris Bechad B'Sar B'Shtei B'Sar B'Shlosh B'Sar B'Abar B'Chamish B'Sar. Le'Pachos V'Le'Yoser. Megillah Sester can be read on the 11th of Adar, the 12th of Adar, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th. Not earlier, not later. Cities that have a wall around it since Yoshua ben Nun, they read on the 15th of Adar. Kfarim Vayaros Gedolos, villages and cities, Koren Bar Basar, but Kfarim Magdim Yom HaKnisa, the villages would make it, would lane on Monday and Thursday. They would be Magdimim, the reading, to Monday and Thursday. Ketzad, Chaliosar Basar Basheni, if our 14th of Adar is a Monday, so Kfarim Vayars does Koren Bar Bayom. So the villages and the big cities read on the same day, 14th. Umukafas Chama Lamachra on Tuesday. Chalios B'Shlishi, Obrevi. If the Yud Dalet fell on Tuesday or Wednesday, so Kvar Magdim Yom HaKnisa, so the villages read it on Monday. So it'll be either the 12th or the 13th. They'll read it either the 13th. If it's on Tuesday, the Kfarim are reading on the 13th. If it's on Wednesday, they're reading it on the 12th. By Yars Dos Koren Bayom, they read on that day. Chalios B'Chamishi, Yars Dos Koren Bayom. The villages, the big cities, read that day. On Friday. Chalios Erev Shabbos, Kfar Magdim Yom HaKnisa, which would be on the 13th. By Yars Dos Koren Bayom. The villages and the Mukafas Chama read on Friday. That's Purim Mishulash, because they don't Tubav. Excuse me. If Tesvav Adar falls on Shabbos, they're Magdimim to Friday. Vayars Dos Mukavos Chama Koren Bo Bayom. Chalios b'Shabbos. Kfar Vayars Dos Magdimim B'Koren Maknisa. Villages move it up to Thursday, so the villages landed on the 12th, and so do the people in the cities. Umukavos Chama Lamachar. And the B'Kovos Chama on Sunday. Chalios Achara Shabbos. So this is when Kfar Magdim Yom HaKnisa, which ends up to be the 11th, right? Because if the 14th is Sunday, then Shabbos is the 13th, Friday is the 12th, and Thursday is the 11th. That's the earliest you can read the Megillah in the Kfarim. Vayars Dos Koren Bo Bayom. They read on Sunday. B'Kovos Chama on Monday. L'Machar. Megillah Nikras Bechadas Minalan. So how do we know that you can read these earlier times? Minalan. Kidabayin Lamemer Lakamon, like we're going to learn. Chachamim Ekilo Lakfarim. Lios Magdim Lima Knisa. Kdeshi Sapkumam Maz Lachem Shebekrachim. The reason why we want a lane for the villages Monday and Thursday is because because the villagers bring in food for the big cities, so it frees them up. They've already heard the Megillah. Everyone in the cities have to make a big Purim Suda. They have to buy, a lot of produce and food. So the village people are freed up to be able to do that. So Ananachi Kamri Michte. We were dealing with the following. Kulan Sheikh Nesagdola Takdinu. This din of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 was established by Anshe Knesset, very early takana. The Isa that the Anshe Knesset only established the 14th, the 15th. And also Rabbana, later rabbis came. The Akri Takanta Takina Anshe Knesset. Could the later Chachamim uproot that takana that was established by Anshe Knesset Vatnan? A later Bezdin cannot uproot dinim of an earlier Bezdin unless it's greater b'chacham. That's why today we have dinim like Yayin Nesech and all sorts of dinim that were established but today they don't exist. We can't uproot them because our Bezdins are not bigger and greater b'minyan and b'chacham like they were before. Elapshita kulan sheiknes agdola takim. So it's clear that the din of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 was established by Anshe Knesset Agdol. Where do we see Eicha Remiza? Where is a remez in the Megillah? Amr Rav Shemen Barab, Amr Rav Yechton. Amr Kro L'Kayim Es Yimei HaPurim Ha'ela Bizmanehem. Plural. Zmanim Arbe Tiknu Lahem. So the Gemara says, Hama Boile Legufei. Yeah, but you needed to know that the 14th and 15th. How do you know that means even earlier? Imkein lema krazman, that each place reads it in its man. My zmaneim, zmanim tuva, multiple times. Avakati meboile. Zmano shel zeh lo k'zmano shel zeh. The Ayaros can only read on the 14th, not on the 15th. The Mukefes Choima can only read on the 15th, not on the 14th. Im kein lema kraz zmanom, my zmaneim shmami no kul. It teaches me all the dinim. Ema zmanim tuva. Maybe it should be even more. Zmaneim dumid zmanam. Ma zmanam. When it says zmanam, which meant the 14th and the 15th, it's only two. Av zmaneim trace, so it's the 11th and 12th. I've aim a tracer or tlacer. Maybe it means 12 and 13. No. The 13th is Taanis Esther, is when everybody gathered. And that is not for laning, necessarily. And that was the Lotzarach Riboy. And in fact, the Iker Nes occurred on the 13th. You don't need a posuk for that it's Roy Lakriya for that. How do you know that the added days aren't after the 15th, like 16 and 17? Because it says velo yavor, so you can't read after the 15th because of velo yavor. Sue, could I get a tissue? Yomim kayomim. L'rabbo is achadas or shnemasar. I've a tracer to laser. Maybe it's the 12th and the 13th that being marbe. That was the day that everybody gathered. They were all given the right to fight. The Iker Nesaker doesn't need a ribuy in a pasuk. The Eimer Shitzer v'Shivser. Maybe it's the 16th and 17th because v'lo yavor ksiv, you can't do it after the 15th. Rosh Hashanah Nachmeni my time alom remim bizmaneim. Zman zmanim zmaneim lo mashmalei. Zman zmanim he understood. Zmaneim he didn't understand. From Shimon Bar Abba my time alom kayomim. He learned from zmaneim. Amlachau l'doyrei sudiksiv. That was for generations. Just like they rested on that day, so they will rest besimcha l'doyros for future yontivs. The Mishnah we just learned, Zu divrei Rabbi Akiva stimasa. It's Rabbi Akiva stam Mishnah. The Dorsh Zman Zmanem. He darshaned all the three words. The Chachamim said we don't read lane on 11th and 12th or the 13th. We only read at the Zman that the Megillah said, 14th and 15th. The Rambam says, Takana dushi yakdimu yikru biyomim yud aleph yud beis yud gimel ba'odar bekfarim hurak kashiyesh liYisrael malchus. Aval zman hazeh kormis Megillah bizmona b'vad b'yud aleph v'tesvav ba'odar. We're going to see like the sheet of Rabbi Yehuda, which is coming. Meis from Rabbi Yehuda, Amos side is man shashanim kitikunon. You know when we are magdim, when we have a melech, Yisrael shunad mosam, av bizman hazeh, hoil mistaklim bo in kornas al bizmana. People look when is Purim because they know 30 days later is Pesach. So if you do it 11th, 12th, it's going to confuse people. So we only do it on the 14th and 15th. Rabbi Yehuda ali b'deman. Ilem ali Rabbi Akiva. So afilu b'zman hazeh yisalai takanta. Rabbi Akiva holds even b'zman hazeh yav takana. Ela lav ali b'rabona. U'b'zman shashanim kitikun v'yisrael shemel ha'mosamiyah karina. Even the Rabbanan will hold according to this that if you have a melech and Klai Yisrael are on its land, you would lane earlier. To Yufta Rabbi Yochanan, to Yufta. Ikid Yamar the people on Rav Chanan Rav Yochanan Zudiv Rabbi Akiva Stimasa. Avachachamim Bazman Hazeh Hod Mistaklim Bo since they determined when Pesach is in Korno Sel Bismana, we only read the Megillah Yudal Tezva. Tana Machem Rav Yehuda. This is what the Rambam is going on. Eim Asai Bisman Shasharim Kitikunon V'Yisrael Shrin Al Mosam. Aval Bisman Hazeh. Hol Mistaklim Bo. We had established Pesach based on when Purim is. In Korno Sel Bismana. Ravashi Kashaled Rav Yehuda and Rav Yehuda. Since there was a steer in Rav Yehuda, Mukim Lola Braisak Rav Yosef Rav Yehuda.
Let me ask you, when they made the Takana of the 11th, when they could do, when did they sell? When did they have the Taanis Esther? When would they do that? Afterwards, on the 13th? Would they do it before the Taanis Esther? Would that come before they read it? Once you read the Megillah already, then you don't have the Taanis Esther.
The Kfarim were Magdimim until, if Purim was Sunday, Taanis Esther is Shabbos. So we are normally Magdim to Thursday.
Right.
And
But if
I guess they would lay the Megillah on the Taanis.
you could do that.
Well,
Okay.
it says Magdimim, and the halach of Magdimim, the fast, you can't fast on Shabbos.
But maybe it's mashma that everything is makdimim. Also, just like the Taanis would be, if we had it on Shabbos, the Taanis would be on Thursday. So maybe in the Kfarim they did the Taanis on Thursday too.
They did that's exactly what I'm saying. I believe that they did the Taanis on Thursday and they read the Megillah on Thursday.
Oh, at the same time. Okay.
Well, by the way,
I'm not sure.
Elazar, it says Megillah Nikris B'Chadasar B'Shnemasar B'Shloishasar. So they're reading the Megillah on Taanis Esther in the Mishnah. Taanis Esther is Shloishasar. Zman Kila Lakol.
But what about when it's 12?
Yeah, but how do you know? How do you know in the Kfarim they weren't Magdim? I'm asking, how do you know in the Kfarim they weren't Magdim? They weren't Magdim the Taanis also.
They just like I'm holding. I'm saying that.
No, but you're holding that they're reading in the same day. I'm not holding they're reading in the same day.
But they were, the whole purpose of Hagdama for Kriya is to make them free on Sunday, that they can bring fruit and vegetables to the people doing Purim on Yud Dalet on Sunday. So they've got to read the Megillah. And since on that year, if Purim is Sunday, Taanis Esther is Shabbos, they have to be Magdim the fast as well. And we know they can read Megillah on Taanis Esther because the Mishnah says Megillah Nikris B'Chadasar B'Shnemasar.
Yeah, you have to look into this. A good shaila that Elazar is asking. I'm not sure. It's a great shaila.
Okay, but I don't see any problem with that. They are the Chachamim have the rishus to be magdim the both the fast and the kriya.
So you think it's the same day? Could be, okay, well, whatever.
I'm not sure it could be the same day.
Gentlemen, when the Mishnah says koirin b'shloisha asar, that's Taanis Esther.
I understand.
There's no ikuv that you can't lay the Megillah on the 13th. They laid it on the 11th and the 12th too. And then they fasted on now. If Elazar wants to dig deep, there is a concept which I didn't want to go into now, but normally we never are magdim fasts. Puranisa we always push off. So, for example, when Tisha B'Av is Shabbos, we fast on Sunday. When Shivasar B'Tammuz is Shabbos, we fast on Sunday. Why? The Gemara says we do not magdim puranisa; we push it off.
But I'm Purim.
So all of a sudden comes
Purim.
Taanis Esther on Shabbos.
Right.
We're magdim. Why? So the answer is Taanis Esther is the Hagdama to the whole mace of Purim. You couldn't have Purim without that. So you cannot push it after Kriya.
So that's
But Kriya and fast, you could do the same thing because that's
but
goes hand in hand. because the Taanis Esther is like the matir.
Let me
that
ask you,
allows
so
to-
the Krachim, they're not celebrating Purim on the day that they read the Kriya? They on the Krachim they are.
No, you mean the village? No, Krachim
Yeah.
are the cities.
No, I mean, so the villages.
The villages celebrated Purim when they laned.
Correct.
But
So,
if they land in a year, if they land on 11th and 12th, there's no problem. But if they land on the 13th, which is Taanis Esther, they can't celebrate,
I'm convinced on this.
right?
But okay. You have to do a big eon on this.
Okay. Okay, go on. All right there.
First of all, I just read the Rambam that
Yeah, we don't allow this to happen.
Tana said we don't do it. You're
Yeah.
asking when they did do it, how did they do it?
And they only did it in Eretz Yisrael. That was
Right.
only.
I don't have any problem with them laning on the 13th because the Mishnah says they laned on the 13th. So I don't have any problem with that. So did Rabbi Yehuda really say that? Rabbi Yehuda, means when do we do that? The places with move it to Monday and Thursday. If you don't move it up, in kornosol bismana. So makom shenichnasim b'shem v'chamishi mia karina v'afilu bismana zeh. So from that price, it seems that the kfarim you can lane Monday and Thursday and be magdim even today. So and that which you said because there's this problem with Rabbi Yehuda, you want to establish the Baraisa like Rabbi Yossi, so there's no stira. I don't get it, says the Gemara. Mishum de Kashale, the Rabbi Yehuda, Mukim, Lord Baraisa, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. Because you found a steer in Rabbi Yehuda, you set it up like Rabbi Yossi. So Ravashi Shmiele, the Iked Tani like Rabbi Yehuda. The Iked Tani like Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. Rashi heard there were those Baraisas that it was said in the name of Rabbi Yehuda, and another version was in the Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. Umi de Kashale, Rabbi Yehuda, Omar. The one who learns Rabbi Yehuda, lav dafka. It's lav dafka like that brisa, but man the like Rabbi Yehuda dafka, because he said clearly, and that then way there's no stira between the two brises. How do you know that the cities surrounded by a wall since Yoshua have to read on the 15th? The Amar Kral Kena Yehudim Aprozim Ayoshvim Bari Aprozis. Now, Mida Prozim, it's an open city Barbasar, must be Mukafin Bachamishas. Veima Prozim Barbasar Mukafin Klal Klal Lo. Maybe cities with walls don't rain at all. I understand they're not Jews. What do you mean you can't rain at all? The odd note that Kushksif means the whole world. Maybe a open city lanes on the 14th and Mukafin lane on the 14th and the 15th. So I would say like you learned. And then comes a word, ve'es yom chamisha asar, also es upasi. The s divides. Haba hani barbasar, the prozim lane on the 14th, hani b'chamisar, and the mukafis chum on the 15th. The ema prozim barbasar mukafin iboy barbasar, but maybe you have a choice that the walled city can lane if they want the 14th or the 15th. Omer krab is manayim. Zmano shel zeh, lo zmano shel zeh. Each is exclusive. The prozim have the 14th, mukafis chum have the 15th. Ema betlaser, keshushan. Now maybe the nace occurred in Shushan on the 13th. So aim a bit placer. So Shushan did it in the 15th. So the regular Mukavas come and do it on the 15th. Ashka Chanasiya, that's the Suda and all the various mitzvos, Matanos Lev Yonim, Zechira, but laning Minolan, Amra Kra, Vayomim Ha'ilin is Karim V'Naasim, Iskis Zechira Lasiya. There's a connection between the Zechira and the mitzvahs. Okay, we'll stop here and we'll have a break tomorrow. And now we're going to do the Tsorba. I will hang up and call back. So we'll get
Good job.
Yishkoich,